Hello, I'm Sam Carp, Sports Pro's features editor, reporting again from the centre of Paris. I've been here for a few days now, and the general consensus is that this is all going rather well. There's still quite a significant security presence, but I've seen full stadiums at the skateboarding, the fencing, gymnastics, but there's no doubt that the biggest roar I heard so far was at La Défense Arena on Wednesday night, where Leon Marchand cemented his status as the poster boy of these Olympics by winning 2 golds in a single night. Perhaps the biggest challenge so far has been the heat, and I am stood outside, so let's get into episode 2 of the Olympic briefing before I catch a sunburn. Despite the positives, one competition that didn't quite go according to plan on Tuesday was the men's triathlon, which had to be postponed because of the low quality of water in the Seine. Paris has spent more than €1 billion in trying to clean up the river in time for the Games, and organisers have consistently maintained that it would be safe to swim in. So it would have been a major embarrassment for them if the triathlon had ended up being a duathlon instead. Despite some really heavy rainfall on Tuesday night, the men's competition did go ahead on Wednesday after the women's event, with Alex Yee claiming a dramatic gold for Team GB. Another legacy focus of Paris 2024 has been sustainability, with 95% of the venues being either existing or temporary. However, in the build-up to the event, we saw 100 athletes sign a letter sent to the CEOs of PepsiCo and top sponsor Coca-Cola, urging them to use their sponsorship of events like the Olympics to promote the use of reusable plastics. Earlier this week I spoke to Brad Ross, who's the Vice President of Sports and Entertainment Marketing and Partnerships for Coca-Cola, and here's what he said when I asked if those concerns have been heard.
I think that's why we've taken such steps this Games and the future Games to come in trying to be as neutral as we can in this regard, right? So we've gone, the offerings that we're putting on the table, the recyclability that we've put together with all our packages, and then the bottles that we've given out for reuse. We've really made a concerted effort to hear and act on what some of those concerns are. So we have taken it seriously, and we're actually working on it, and we'll continue to work on it and get better as we go.
Paris 2024 is also delivering a major viewership rebound for broadcasters. NBC saw record low ratings for the COVID-hit Tokyo and Beijing Games, but said its coverage of the opening Saturday here in Paris saw more than 32 million people tune in across its platforms in the US, which was an 83% improvement on Tokyo. One of the major stars of its coverage so far has been Snoop Dogg, who I caught a glimpse of at the skate park as he was chased down an exit by a massive entourage. Snoop Dogg, who is probably a little bit better known for his music than he is his sports expertise, is providing colour commentary for NBC during these Olympics as they try to reach a wider audience. Here's what Gary Zenkel, who's the president of NBC Olympics, said when I asked him what Snoop Dogg has been like to work with.
1, he has tremendous reach and influence and appeal. But 2, he's an incredibly talented guy with an enormous passion for the Olympics. Really feels what I think those of us that spend most of our lives working on this feel, which is the power of the story of the Olympian. Somebody who is generally fairly relatable. They've worked tirelessly. They're talented, and they've taken advantage of that talent, and they've given every ounce of their time and effort into trying to be the best of the best. And, the story behind that, I think, is something that resonates with the audience. And Snoop, who I've gotten to know a little bit through this journey, feels that as much as anybody else. And he brings, he brings humor, he's entertaining, but at the same time, he brings, with it the emotion that I think people are drawn to about the Olympics. And so it's a combination of his influence. It's also part of Molly Solomon, who are executive producers, new playbook, which is to entertain and to, play the stories out, cover the Olympics, but, surprise and delight is sort of her mantra as well. And Snoop in the pool with Michael Phelps, and in the stands with the Biles family, along with them, and around Paris, among, as you say, some other of the folks that we brought to these Games, has added an element to our presentation, which is different, and I think has really, created some great moments.
Unsurprisingly, given where we are in Paris, Snoop Dogg hasn't been the only celebrity wanting a piece of these Games. Now, Jill Biden and Flav might not seem like the most obvious combination to some, but the First Lady of the United States was filmed thanking the rapper earlier this week for his sponsorship of the US women's water polo team. That was the first of a couple of feel-good funding stories that have come to the fore. After winning an unlikely bronze against Australia in the women's rugby sevens, Team USA star Ilona Maher used the opportunity to call for more investment and funding into her sport. Not long after, prolific women's sport investor Michelle Kang said she was going to donate $4 million to USA Rugby for the development of its women's sevens team in the build-up to LA28. Kang has been extremely busy here in Paris, where she also announced the formation of Kaniska, which is the holding company that will house her portfolio of women's soccer clubs. Anyway, that's all for episode 2 of the Olympic Briefing. Tune in again on Tuesday, when you'll be able to hear from the likes of On Location and USA Gymnastics, while I'll also hopefully be able to provide you with a bit of insight from the 100-metre final. Speak then.